It turns out that Maynard James Keenan did not only sing for, he also had a side project called Puscifer? I don't know how to say this word. And a song called Autumn. Shout out today goes to Ryan. Thank you for your suggestion via donation on Buy Me a Coffee. He said that this song has become like an anthem lately, feeling like he is in the autumn or maybe even late autumn of his life. I wonder if you guys can relate to that feeling, that you are in the late autumn of your life. If you drew a line, that's a therapeutic activity that sometimes is done in therapy. If you drew a line between your birth and your death, and you had to place a dot on where you believe you are in that time frame, where would you be? And how does that make you feel? Let me know in the comments, and let's dive into this. Puscifer, not Puscifer, Puscifer and Autumn. Pussy Shot, their album Money Shot. Wow.
Catch me, no, not this day.
Oh, wow. This is so unique, this composition.
Twilight fall upon all souls.
Fall, autumn.
Darkening hour. Skin and bone.
Oh, snap.
Soon I'll follow.
Wow.
Home. Until then, just let me chase this sun.
Wow.
Soon enough I'll go a winter's way. Soon enough, not this day. Soon enough I'll go winter's way. Soon enough.
Soon enough. Yep. That's how death feels. Wow.
Stay the winter, oh, one more day. You leave me to my child's play.
Wow. Wow. The feeling of this was different than Tool, from the musical genre to even the way he used his voice to the overall feeling. And yet it was just as powerful. How does Maynard keep doing that? How? Incredible depth. I wish I could ask or wonder. I wonder if someone like Dr. Irwin Yalom, a known author, psychiatrist, psychotherapist who deals a lot with existential theories, has ever heard this song. I would love to hear his thoughts and opinions on it. To me, the musical composition alone felt like it was taking us through the seasons of a year. You had the crescendo, you had the upbeat, you had the melodic, you had this composition that just flowed. It didn't feel like four separate parts, and yet it felt like four distinct seasons that all flowed into one another. And that's exactly how a year and our life is. We have seasons where we can tell the difference of seasons, winter compared to summer. We know there's differences, the heat, the snow, the cold, the rain, and yet they flow and they pass by so fast that it has us going, it'll come soon enough, right? The fall, autumn, with the time for us to fall, autumn, right? That play on words, I feel. The time for us to die, for leaves to come off the tree, to be bare, to go back into the ground. That will come soon enough, but not yet. The interlude at one point, the synthesizers and the echo feeling had me thinking of these machines. When you're hooked up to machines at the end of your life, a lot of times that are beeping and that type of feeling. It made me think of that. And I thought that was going to be the end, that it would end on this feeling of being hooked up to a machine as you're breathing your last and getting ready to join into step into the winter of life. And then it got back into the chorus, and that made me feel, it made me think of this desire to keep living, this will to survive that many of us have, where even as we're getting older and we're hooked up to machines and we're dealing with things that come with age, that come with the autumn of our life, he got back into the chorus and a crescendo kicked back in one last time. And I think that's many people's stories, is that when we're facing old age, we're not necessarily ready just to lay down and roll over like a dead dog. We want to fight one more time. We want to pursue life and grab it by the horns one last time. We want to get up and jump out of bed one last time. Let me experience a summer breeze one more time. Let me smell the roses one last time, right? Sometimes facing death and becoming aware of how short life is causes us to want to rise one more time. And so the way the composition carried made me think of that as well. I feel like it beautifully put in words, again, the composition carrying us through a lot of variety and dynamics, which is very much part of life as well. But it also lyrically fits so well to our existential experience. Both things like the sun turning our skin and our, what did it say? Our bones and our skin brown. That was crazy to me because it makes me think of spending a lot of time in the sun where our skin gets darker, but also being in the dirt and this idea of the sun, that time we have in the sun, as Dr. Yalom also says in his book, Staring at the Sun, where he points out that that segment between birth and death is all we have. And that's that point, like almost like a laser focus, where we get to be in the sunlight. We get to be alive and exist. And it's beneficial, even though we're often told not to stare in the sun. He, from a psychological standpoint, comes at it from the angle of we need to stare at the sun, in the sense of we need to look death in the eyes. The very thing that's going to kill us, we have to look to stare at the sun, to look into the sun, to grasp how short this life is. And I think sometimes when we are closer to the end of our life, or when we have an experience that shakes us to the core, like a diagnosis, like the death of a loved one, like something like that puts into tangible terms how short life is, it sometimes stirs us. And ironically, it is often then that we understand how precious life is. That's why you often have terminally ill patients, terminally ill patients who, once they've tried to come to terms with their diagnosis, they savor life in a completely different way than those who take it for granted. People that are face to face with death because they have a limited time and they know it, even though we all do, right? Because they really have to try to deal with what's left. They start trying to savor life in a different way than those of us who take it for granted or think we have all the time in the world. And I think the song put that in words in a very, very powerful way. I want to look up the lyrics as well. It said, catch the sun before he slips away. This feeling of running, chasing after things. Words like run, chase really is fitting because that's what we end up doing in life a lot of times. Sadly, we often chase the wrong things. We have our priorities wrong and we think things are important to life that are not, or we swing from one extreme to the other as humans do in regards to what we esteem valuable. Unreason's cold, tenacity, pause your nature, dance with me. Pause your nature. Amazing. To me, this is this double entendre, this plea for nature, for the earth to stop spinning so fast, for nature to slow down, stop. The nature of life, that is for seasons to keep moving, for us to get older, pause it. But at the same time, it makes me think it's also a call to action for all of us to pause, to dance with one another, to enjoy one more autumn day. You know, in that conversation, and as I said in the beginning of this video, that would be an interesting exercise to do, to draw a line that signifies birth to death, and then mark a dot on where you think you're at now, and to meditate on that, to reflect on that. And that can be hard and painful. Maybe it's good to do that in therapy or with a loved and a safe person that you can trust for sound advice. But it's sombering to do something like that and to go, where am I at on my dance? And what am I doing with my time? Am I running? Am I chasing the wrong things? Am I pausing? Am I dancing? Am I savoring life? You cannot escape death. You cannot escape death. We do different things to deny it, to defy it, to not think about it, or to be consumed by it, that we're missing out on living. It's all part of the pendulum. But death is coming for all of us. What are you doing now, today, so that last heartbeat falls on the last page of your life's book? Twilight fall upon all souls, darkening our skin and bone. And maybe that can be part of the comforting therapeutic element here, to realize it happens to all of us. Nobody is getting out alive. Until then, just let me chase this sun. And until it comes, not yet. It's coming, but not yet. Soon enough, I'll go. A winter's way. Ah, that poetic wording here. A winter's way. That's the way of the winter, but also a winter away, maybe. It's really close. I'm not going today. Not today, Satan, right? We have these expressions of, not happening, not to me, not today. But at the end of the day, we're all dealing with it. We're all headed towards death. So what are we going to do with that? And I hope you have someone that you can talk to about these things in a safe place. Ideally, a counselor, a therapist, a trusted confidant who can listen and be with you, right? Sometimes we want to fix it and we want to alleviate pain and we want to go, no, don't be afraid. You still have a long time to live. Or some other desperate attempt at trying to comfort one another. But sometimes you have to sit in it, and maybe we can sit with one another and go, okay, this is how this feels. So how can we give meaning to our life now? How can we stare at the sun in this season of life? Not knowing when our winter's coming, but not right now. It's not here yet. You are not dead yet. There can be therapy in finding meaning, finding a purpose, finding something to do, helping others, inspiring others, creating. You were created to create. Do something with your life. But at the same time, also finding comfort in knowing you're not alone. It's coming for all of us, as well as reminding yourself, be in the here and now. You are not dead yet, my friend. It's coming, but it's not here yet. So what are you going to do in the autumn of your life? Dance in the leaves, throw them up in the air, savor it, be present. You are here, you are alive. I hope you know you're loved. This was a fantastic, absolutely powerful suggestion. So interesting to see all that Maynard James Keenan was creating and just to see these various facets of him. Powerful. What do you think about this one? What does Tool mean to you? What does Puscifer mean to you? And Maynard James Keenan, I keep seeing in the comment section, people think I'm related to him. Not that I know of. What do you think? What do you think about this song? Subscribe, and I will see you on the next ride.